Hi, dreamers. Hello and happy Sunday. Before I say anything else, I want to thank you all for your compassion and your kind words and your patience. And I know that I haven't had much to say lately, but I did hear and I read and I saw and I felt everything that every one of you said and did for me over the past few weeks. So many of you reached out, and at the time, there really wasn't anything that I could say or could do to convey my gratitude and gratefulness because I really wasn't doing or saying much of anything. I was barely even really leaving my bedroom. I did manage to finish up the series on the regular show and the Patreon episode for the month too, which I will have wrapped up for you very soon. I just have to sit down and record that final part. I'm not even really sure what has been going on with me in the last month. I've been feeling so tired and anxious, and I've been having this weird fear of going anywhere or doing anything. It's kind of like I was shutting down. And then I had this medical event, and I talked to a doctor and I talked to a nurse practitioner on Zoom, and I was actually set to go speak to a doctor in person about a week and a half ago to get a referral to a therapist and start exploring some options and dealing with some mental health issues. But then I filled up with all this anxiety again and I canceled my appointment. So I'm still trying to work on that. I had been still taking care of Jane. However, I have been going over there 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day, since the beginning of March. And that was starting to wear me down too. Jane was able to sense that I was kind of starting to fall apart. So her husband actually came back from the East Coast to resume what's really his responsibility in taking care of her. She requires 24-hour care. So he's been here for about a week. I stopped leaving my home altogether as soon as he got into town. At the same time, I hadn't seen or spoken to my husband for several weeks through the end of April and into the beginning of May. But we finally did talk, and it's not been easy for either one of us. He just isn't as expressive about things as I am, I guess. We actually, a couple days ago, I think it was on Friday, we went to New York, the one here in Vegas. Although I would love to go to New York again someday, but we settled for the pretend New York. We had dinner and we gambled a little bit. And I'd say about maybe half, if not more, of the crowd were without masks now, which was kind of surreal after having gone so long without seeing people's faces. I do have my vaccine, but I'm still wearing a mask out of anxiety. I got yelled at in early 2020 before the masks were required. And I just can't bring myself to not wear it yet. But anyway, I needed to get out of my house, and diving all in and going into a full capacity casino, walking and bumping into people all over the place, kind of made going to Target on a Saturday morning not feel so all consuming. So I guess it was kind of a good thing. But at the same time, my husband and I have tried to sort of come together, I guess, in this kind of like tiny little sliver of a comfort zone that we share that we've both been avoiding and neglecting, where we could try to reconnect in probably the most basic of ways. It doesn't seem like he'd been doing much better than I am. The difference is that he has a support system here in Nevada, family and friends, that I just don't. And we needed to kind of reach this understanding that he can't be everything to me, and from his perspective, I can't be nothing to him, which is what he had been trying to relegate me to, I guess. I don't know if I quite understand, but I think he, in some weird way, had reached this point in his life where he wanted to try to prove to himself that he just absolutely did not need me. But he's kind of opened up, and he said recently that he's found that life without me isn't what he wants or needs. I don't know what that means for right now, so we're just kind of taking it day by day. My daughter is doing really well. My mom had some serious health issues amongst all of this other stuff going on in the past month. Also, she had surgery and now she has to go to dialysis 3 times a week, which my daughter has to take her to on top of trying to live her own life. And it's not something that should be the responsibility of a 21-year-old to take care of her grandma. And that's been kind of weighing on me a lot. But I really don't know what to do. I keep thinking that I should be the one to deal with my mom's health problems. But then I also remind myself that it was my mom's choice to marry my dad, who was 25 years older than her. You know, he was her meal ticket, her one-way trip out of Vietnam, just marry an old rich guy. And by the time she was 57 years old, she was a widow. And I still don't know what I'm going to do about her. She seems to have stabilized for right now, and my daughter seems okay. I just know eventually something's going to give, and I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do with that. While I want to sit here, and I would love to thank every single one of you for all that you've done, for continuing to listen to and enjoy this podcast and allow me to share these stories with you each week, sort of each week. There are some of you who did reach out to help me and who kept me from drowning when I couldn't pull myself together. So I want to acknowledge each of you individually. Kat D, Ashley D, Catherine S, Aaron S, Cindy, Tiffany C, Natasha, Mally G, Marjorie S, Emily T, Ronnie M, Katie B, Allison M, Jade B, Sandra W, Keith W, Anna W, Alicia W, Gina B, Dave W, L Smith, Casey W, lots of W's, Rebecca Jane, she's one of my admins. My admins have been amazing as well, all of you. Tracy H, Jennifer L, Kearney M, Mary M, Joan, Monica S, Brenda V, Andrea A, Linda B, Barbara A, Elaine F, Carrie B, Terry with an I, Lori D, Dean S, Beth C, Darlene S, Deshawn, Kimberly W, Tamar C, Leslie M, and Amanda Shirley. I got all your messages. I got your emails. I didn't realize the magnitude of just how many of you reached out to me until I began opening up my eyes and looking at my emails and compiling this list. And so from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I do have the next episode in the writing and research stages. I'm ready to record the final part of the Patreon series. So those of you on Patreon who have been waiting, you won't have to wait very much longer. I don't want to make you wait until June for that. So for those of you who are patrons, it won't be but a couple more days. I'm going to go ahead and publish this and get back to writing our next story. Thank you again so much. There are no words to express the depth of my gratitude to this community, this family that we've built. I love you with all of my heart, and you will hear from me again very, very soon. Thank you. And as always, sweet dreams.